Here's an explanation of my Allen and Heath Xone K2 4-deck tractor mapping for use with any 2-channel DJ mixer in external mode. I'm actually using an Audio 8 interface. Pay no attention to the Z2 here. That's actually just being used as an analog mixer right now. So this would work with any tractor interface, 4, 6, 8, 10, all good. As long as you have the K2, a laptop, and your interface, pretty much walk into any club or party and you're good to go using just this as a controller with the option of turntables or CDjs. So the thing I really wanted was the ability to move what deck was playing from deck A to deck C and deck B to deck D and vice versa back up. So I came up with a mapping. It's really cool. It's actually 2 mappings in one. This button right here on the K2 actually fires off 2 MIDI commands. It fires off load to deck C and unload from deck A. So let me just give you an example of that. I'll get this going here. So this is playing, and if I hit this button, it's going to move it from A to C. But there is no change in volume because I have this selected. So if you're going to do this and you're in external mode, go into your preferences, go to loading, and check reset all mixer controls when loading a track. So pretty much when I'm playing in external mode, my EQ knobs are always 12 o'clock. I do use the filter on this, and I'll get to that in a minute. But basically that's the idea. So same thing for decks B and D. Just get this going here. And then you can dump it here. In fact, I have it labeled dump, DMP. There's the play button. So it's kind of, it takes a little bit of practice to get it right. It's with the 2 commands, you know, sometimes I use effects or EQ to sort of mask it out. So, you know, there's that slight possibility of a pop. So it kind of takes some getting used to, but once you get the hang of it, I know you'll really like it. So let me finally get to the rest of the mapping here. This encoder in the bottom right corner moves up and down your playlist. This button next to it is your shift or your modifier button. If you hold shift and you turn this encoder, you'll go up and down the different playlists. If you just move it, you'll go up and down the songs inside of your playlist. So let's load a deck to deck A. So this is your select deck button. The center 2 channels of the Allen Heath are A and B, and the outer ones are C and D. So I'm going to select A, and this top button here is actually the play button, but it's also the load button and it's the play button. So if I hold shift and I hold this button here, which is the load play button, it'll load it, and then if I let go of shift and I hit it again, it'll play it. So it's blinking green in beat with the time. So notice the LED to dump this deck to C shows. So this is showing me that there's something loaded on this deck, and I could dump it if I wanted to. Okay. Start my turntable. This top section is your turntable control. So I hit that. It's in turntable control. You hit play again. Go out of turntable mode. Play. Dump it. Turntable mode for deck C. This top row is turntable mode. The second row is the dump row, where you can either swap what deck's playing what, or you can simply wipe it out by holding shift as well. Let's reload that. And these bottom 8 are your cue points. So that explains all of these. The top button is a filter. When you push it, it activates, but it also doubles as a gain. So you can hold shift and turn the encoder down, and it will turn the gain down. So that's sort of how I would mix out 4-deck mix. So, you know, you only have one channel for decks A and C, but you still have the ability to use the filter or hold shift and turn the encoder down and turn it off completely, or whatever you want to do. So let's get into the effects a little bit. I'm going to play that track again. Turn the filter off. Turn the gain back up. So this middle two sliders are your effect chooser for 1 and your effect chooser for 2. All the way at the bottom they're off. The way I have it set up, all the way at the top they're reverb. And this red button is your on-off button. And I have these buttons mapped to the effects as well. So these center two faders choose your single effect for each side. These faders on the outside are the wet dry for your multi effect. Now the knobs all control the effects. This top knob is for effect 1, middle for 2, the third one for 3. So this is the on-off button as well. So if you turn this up, so this is your wet dry. Each one of these are the individual of the 3 effects. This is your selector. And these are the parameters for that effect. This encoder here on the bottom left is your loop size selector. So this is playing. If you push it in, it activates the loop. This button here is flux mode. So this turns flux mode on, the selected channel. Works pretty good. And if you want to jump ahead or back, you change your loop size selector and you hold shift. And you can jump around in your song. Really cool for beat gridding fast. Or for markering your song.